Hi, my name is Tony, and we're with ProBuilt Lighting, and I'm going to show you today how to change a 12-volt battery in one of our SmithLights. Most every problem that we have with SmithLight is due to the battery. Customers are a little confused with how to charge their battery. They're not fully aware that you should charge your battery before and after, and it seems to be more like neglect. But if you ever have to change this battery, it's pretty easy to do. Remember that the charging instructions are right there and also in the user's manual, so you always want to follow the directions. This is one of those places where a little extra care will go a long way. These batteries are not cheap. Let's say, so if you need to change one, there are 6, 7, 8 keeping screws here. You'll need a very small Phillips. You take the 6 screws out. You always want to wear gloves when you're dealing with sealed lead acid batteries. There's electrolyte inside, which is sulfuric acid, and you don't want that on your hands. The Velcro keeper is really the only thing that's keeping this battery in the compartment. So you undo the Velcro and use it as your 2 handles to pull the battery toward you. And it usually slides pretty easy to yourself. Just enough to get to the positive and the negative battery terminals. We take off the positive terminal first, being careful not to short the battery. Once again, wearing gloves just in case there's any discharge, liquid discharge in the battery. Oops. Pull this out of the way, give it a good tug, and the battery is out. We grab the replacement battery and we put it in just as we took the old one out. Your wires aside. We'll put our spacers back in. Okay. And we're going to try to keep this as firm and as straight as we can. Push it back in. Back in place for future. And now we can put the wires back. Sometimes it's rather hard to put these screws back with gloves on, and so I'm going to remove the gloves just for a moment. In the same way we took them off, we put it back in the same sequence. So we put the neutral first. Make sure it's good and snug. We turn around and do the positive side. You have to always be careful not to short a battery because the amps can really be high. The magnetic tip is working against me. It's always a good idea when you're working with things like this to remember how it came out, and the new one goes back just in the same way. For instance, we're going to stick the fuse in there, try to hide the wires as good as we can. If you had to replace this cushion, you would like to put that back in place. You raise the back, and you return your securing screws, and you're done.